In this unit, we're going to go over some tools for collaboration. I think of these like tech for dealing with people. They're ways that people have developed to work with each other better. But first, what is collaboration? Basically, it's dealing with other people, working with other people, but it can also mean organizations working with each other. Now, we're told that collaboration is a good thing, but why do we do it? Well, collaboration brings in multiple brains. Especially when we're dealing with problems as huge as the Great Unraveling, we need many brains working on the problem. We also need many perspectives. My experience is not the same as your experience, but both of us have to live in the future we build. So we need to find ways to make that future satisfying for both of us. Collaboration can stimulate greater creativity as one mind builds on the ideas of another. In my times as a community leader, I've looked at many different ways of how to work together better. But I run them all through a filter of how will this help to build the necessary new structures? How will this help us to put in place stopping action? How will this help us create a shift in consciousness? It's like this little guy who's trying to move a great big rock, the rock of society. We all know that it needs to move over a bit, that we can't leave it sitting smack in business as usual. We've got to nudge it in a direction which can help resolve these huge problems. But our little guy here has figured out how to move the great big rock. It's all about where you put the stick. So, my selection of collaborative tools to show you is really filtered through, will it help us create bigger, faster change? So anthropologists tell us that back in the hunter-gatherer days, our social circles were probably about 75 to 100 people. That's who we interacted with on a regular basis. That's what our brains are evolved to cope with. Now suddenly we jump into a world where we have 10,000 Facebook friends, but we haven't evolved to hold intimate emotional connections on that scale. Our brains don't know how to cope with it. So when we're dealing with very large numbers of people, you'll see all kinds of organizational structures, for example, in corporate businesses. But basically, we're still working it out. And the problems of the Great Unraveling highlight some of the ways our organizational models have been flawed in the past, which inspires us to look at new ways of organizing people, ways of organizing that are more equitable and help undo disenfranchisement as we create the new future.